It was a bright and sunny morning when Mrs. Clara Johnson, a kind and gentle 70-year-old woman, arrived at the airport. Clara was so excited because she was about to take her very first flight in first class. She had worked hard her whole life, and this was her special treat to herself. Dressed in her best Sunday outfit, Clara walked to the counter with her ticket. She smiled at the flight attendant, a young woman named Rachel. But instead of smiling back, Rachel looked at Clara with a cold stare. "Are you sure this is your ticket?" Rachel asked, raising an eyebrow. "First class isn't cheap, you know." Clara was confused. She had paid for her ticket fair and square. "Yes, dear," she said politely. "This is my ticket." Rachel leaned over the counter, her voice low. "Maybe you should sit in the back of the plane where you'll be more comfortable." Clara's heart sank. She knew exactly what Rachel meant. But instead of arguing, Clara simply said, "Thank you for your advice, but I'll sit where my ticket says I should." When Clara boarded the plane, she noticed that Rachel had given her seat away to another passenger. Clara was forced to sit in the back of the plane. Even though she was hurt, she stayed calm and didn't let anyone see her cry. After the flight, Clara decided she wouldn't let this experience bring her down. She went home and wrote a letter to the airline's CEO explaining what had happened. Days turned into weeks, but no one responded. Clara realized that if she wanted real change, she needed to do something bigger. One day, Clara came across a newspaper article. The airline was in financial trouble and looking for new investors. Clara had been saving money for years, and an idea began to grow in her mind. She called her lawyer and said, "Let's buy that airline." Her lawyer laughed at first, thinking she was joking. But Clara wasn't joking. She used her savings and got some help from friends and community leaders. Soon, she became the owner of the very airline where she had been mistreated. Clara walked into the company's headquarters one bright morning. The employees were shocked when they saw her. She was now their boss. Clara didn't waste any time. She called a meeting with all the staff, including the flight attendants. Rachel was there too, looking nervous and unsure of what to expect. Clara stood tall, her voice calm but firm. "Good morning, everyone," she began. "I'm here to make some changes." Rachel's face turned red as Clara continued. "This airline will no longer tolerate discrimination of any kind. Every passenger, no matter where they come from or what they look like, deserves to be treated with respect." The room was silent. Some employees nodded in agreement, while others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Clara's eyes swept over the crowd, landing on Rachel. She didn't call her out directly, but made sure her message was clear. "We will start by retraining all staff to ensure this company represents fairness and kindness. I believe in second chances, but I also believe in accountability." Rachel lowered her gaze, knowing that Clara's words were meant for her. Clara wasn't angry. She was determined to create a better future for everyone involved. As the meeting ended, a young man named Marcus, the airline's new head of operations, approached Clara. Marcus was known for his innovative ideas and fair leadership style. "Mrs. Johnson," he said with a warm smile, "I'm so inspired by your story. Let me know how I can help turn this company into something we can all be proud of." Clara was impressed by Marcus's enthusiasm. "Thank you, Marcus," she said. "I'm going to need leaders like you to make this vision a reality." Meanwhile, an elderly pilot named Captain Roger, who had been with the airline for over 30 years, decided to visit Clara in her office later that day. Roger had always been a quiet figure, but he had seen firsthand the changes the airline needed. "Mrs. Johnson," he said, tipping his hat, "I've been waiting for someone like you to take charge. I've got a few ideas on how we can improve things for both our employees and our passengers." Clara's eyes lit up. "Please, Captain Roger, share your ideas. I want everyone to feel like they have a voice here." In the midst of these conversations, a young intern named Lily, who had witnessed Rachel's behavior during Clara's flight, hesitated outside Clara's door. Gathering her courage, she knocked softly and stepped inside. "Mrs. Johnson," Lily said nervously, "I'm just an intern, but I want to help too. I've seen things that need fixing, and I think your story can inspire real change." Clara smiled warmly. "Lily, every voice matters. Sit down and tell me what you've seen." As Clara listened to her new team, she felt a sense of hope growing. This was only the beginning of a long journey to transform the airline into something extraordinary. Over the next few months, Clara worked tirelessly with her team to implement changes. Marcus introduced new training programs that focused on empathy and customer service. Captain Roger helped modernize operations, ensuring that both passengers and employees felt valued. Lily organized community outreach programs, showing that the airline was committed to making a positive impact. One day, Clara decided to surprise her employees. She announced an Employee Appreciation Day, where everyone, from the pilots to the ground crew, was celebrated for their hard work. Clara even invited passengers to join in the festivities at the airport, sharing stories of how the airline had changed for the better. Rachel, who had stayed with the company, approached Clara during the event. Her face was full of remorse. "Mrs. Johnson," she said softly, "I'm so sorry for how I treated you. I've learned so much from you, and I'm working to be better." Clara looked at Rachel with kind eyes. "It takes courage to admit when we're wrong. Keep growing, Rachel. That's all I ask." By the end of the year, the airline had not only recovered financially, but had also become a symbol of hope and transformation. Clara's story inspired people around the world, proving that one person's courage and kindness could spark incredible change. Moral of the story: the story of Clara Johnson teaches us that kindness and determination can overcome even the toughest challenges. It reminds us to stand up for what is right, to treat everyone with respect, and to believe in the power of change. No matter how small we may feel, we all have the ability to make a big difference. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.